In today's video, we're going to talk about why I consider myself lucky to have discovered silver and gold when I did, and how stacking helped me understand the importance of taking a proactive approach when prepping for things that could possibly go wrong. And I'm going to be going live in the VIP club tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Link in the description if you'd like to join. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and staying safe. It's a great day to have a great St. Patrick's Day. Today I wanted to talk about silver and gold and why I consider myself to be lucky to have discovered the precious metals and begin stacking it. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Don't forget, you only have until midnight tonight to get yourself the Luck Has Nothing to Do With It t-shirt and hoodie. It's helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for St. Baldrick's Foundation. Use promo code LUCKY for a 15% discount on everything in the DYDSS store. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today, I wanted to talk about silver and gold. Now, you might be wondering, if I'm going to talk about silver and gold, why don't I have any gold on display? Well, here we go. I got myself a little pot of gold right here. And if you're wondering, is that a blender bottle cap that you have some coins inside of? You'd be correct. That's what I'm using to store me gold. So welcome to the Mykie DYDSS channel. And I wanted to talk about why I consider myself to be lucky to be somebody that discovered silver and gold. I consider myself lucky for a friend of mine to have introduced me to precious metals several years ago. Now, anybody who's been watching my videos over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that I don't consider myself lucky to be stacking silver and gold. I don't think that has to do with luck. I think it has to do with preparation. But I'm lucky to have discovered that there was something out there that I should probably be preparing for. And it doesn't just go for the silver and the gold. It goes for a lot of different things. It goes for all of the preps. For example, what if something were to happen to the water supply here in New Jersey, or my area of New Jersey? In 2019, I got myself a water purification system, which I use on a regular basis. I'm not just letting it sit there waiting for something to happen to the water supply. I use it every single day. But what if something were to happen to the water supply? And I have myself the water purification unit just in case. Would I be considered lucky? I would say probably not. I wouldn't call myself lucky. I would call myself prepared. If the power were to go out, and you have the flashlights, you have the this, you have the that, and the power's out, and you can get by through the night or through the weekend or till the storm passes or whatever the case may be, would you be lucky that you prepared? That you got the supplies, that you got the preps, that you got the things that you know that you would probably need if the power were to go out months ago, years ago? Would that make you a lucky person? I would say no. I would say it would make you a prepared person.
I've always found that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have.
So very similar could be said about the silver and the gold. When it comes to the precious metals, one of the main reasons I got involved in stacking in the first place, a little over 3 years ago, about 3 years and 3 months ago, give or take, I got involved initially because a very good friend of mine introduced me to the stacking concept. And unfortunately, he introduced me to the stacking concept about maybe 2 years before I actually got started stacking. I should have gotten started stacking right off the bat. I don't know what took me 2 years to actually wise up, but I guess at the time maybe my financial IQ wasn't high enough. Who knows why I didn't get started? I just didn't get started. But 2 years later, I remember thinking about the conversation that Steven and myself, my friend's name was Steven, what we were talking about, what he was telling me, the things he was showing me. I remember him sending me articles. He even sent me a picture of some of the silver that he had at the time. I'll put the picture right here on screen. I actually went back and searched for that photo just to use for today's video. He told me that every single time he gets paid, he makes sure to take a little bit of cash, stop by the local coin shop, and he picks up an ounce or two of silver. Nothing crazy. Every week he picks up 2 ounces of silver, give or take, every single week. I mean, think about it. By the time a year goes by, that's over 100 ounces of silver. He wasn't stacking overly aggressively, but he was staying consistent. Every single week, he would make it a priority to go to the coin shop and pick up 2 little silver coins. And at the time, I didn't really understand. But as time went by, and I remember the conversation that we had, I started doing some research on my own, which is something that everybody should do. You shouldn't watch a YouTube video, like mine for example, and just make a decision based off of what I say. I say it all the time. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Do your own research, form your own opinion, make your own decision based off of your conclusions, not mine. But the conclusion that I came to was that the silver and the gold is somewhat of a physical at-home savings account. From day one, I didn't consider it an investment. I probably referred to it as an investment at the very beginning, but I didn't really understand the difference between a hedge against inflation and something that I was investing in. If I wanted to invest, it would be in business, stocks, and real estate. The silver and the gold, that's just a way of storing money, not earning money, because the silver and gold, after all, they are money. I don't think you can really invest in money. But regardless, I saw it as a way of saving money and protecting my wealth and storing value for the long term. I still had quite a bit of learning to do at the very beginning. I made plenty of rookie mistakes early on. Here I am a little over 3 years deep, and I still have years, decades to go of just continuous learning. I'm going to continue learning. I'm going to continue teaching those who are willing to learn. I'm going to continue learning from those who are willing to teach. I think that's the way it should be. So when I first got started stacking, the very tail end of 2017, and then in 2018 when I started taking it much more seriously, the summer, fall of 2018 when the spot price of both metals pretty much bottomed out for a bit. Silver went all the way down to about $14. Premiums back then were only $1 or $2 over spot. Gold at the time was like $1,100 or $1,200. Both metals were way down. And at the time, I prioritized silver over gold. When it came to gold at the time, like I said, my financial IQ wasn't really as high up as it should have been. But like I said, it's all about learning. But at the very beginning, I didn't really have much of an interest in gold. I had picked up a couple little gold pieces, that little 1 gram gold bar right here, a couple little 10th ounce gold coins. I wasn't taking gold all that seriously. I was pretty much saying, oh, I'll get to it eventually. I'll get some gold later down the road. And I don't know why that was. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But I prioritized the silver. And I remember placing so many orders online in between my trips to the physical, in-person local coin shop. I would visit the local coin shop, and I remember by the time I got to the coin shop the next time, I had placed 4 orders online, and I remember picking up silver, I think about 6 times in the course of like 10 days. I was picking up as much silver as I possibly could. Anytime I saw a deal online, whether it be a 10-ounce sunshine bar or maple leafs or 90% or generic rounds or whatever, I was picking up as much as I could. Now, like I said, this was the summer and the fall of 2018. You know what takes place in the fall of 2018? Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That's when I got a huge portion of my stack. That's when I started ordering the bigger 10-ounce bars. That's when I started ordering a big package of silver rounds. That's when I started ordering bags upon bags upon bags of 90%. That's when I was ordering a larger volume rather than just maybe $100 worth at the time, as much as it pains me to say it that way. I don't like measuring my wealth in dollars. I would much rather measure my wealth in troy ounces, now at least. But in 2018, I wasn't viewing it that way. I was just trying to make it a priority at the time to convert about $100 into as much silver as I could possibly get, mostly because $100 is what you needed for either the minimum order or to get free shipping. That was just my plan. That was just my strategy at the time. And it paid off because in the end, I didn't have to pay a penny in shipping, and I got plenty of silver out of it. And I also visited the local coin shop at least once or twice a month. Get a lot of silver that way. You don't have to pay shipping if you get it from the local coin shop. But point being is, that's when I was taking it serious. That's when I started stacking aggressively. That's when I started cutting back on foolishly spending. Not that I was ever really much of a spender to begin with, but I had noticed that there were a couple things that I didn't really need to be spending my cash on that I could cut back on, save a little bit of cash, and have a little bit of fiat or currency left over to convert into even more silver and gold if that's what I wanted to do. So I do consider myself lucky to have been introduced to precious metals when I was introduced to precious metals. I feel like getting in at the time that I got in was arguably the perfect time. Now, one could argue if I was maybe 40 years older and I got started stacking 40 years ago, that probably would have been an even better time to get started stacking. But for someone like me, within my age demographic, I think I got in at the right time. Not to mention, spot price was only $14 an ounce. During my first year of stacking, premiums actually made sense back then. The premiums on generic silver rounds and bars were like $1, $1.50. The premiums on Maple Leafs were like $1.75, maybe $2. The premiums on Eagles were $2, maybe $2.25. The premiums actually made sense back then. I was able to walk away with a silver eagle $20 or less. I could take one of these and get myself a silver eagle and get change back. All up until 2020. But point being, I viewed it as a physical at-home savings account. I viewed it as something that paid a little bit better of an interest rate than a savings account at the bank. Nothing wrong with a savings account well, actually, there is something wrong with the savings account at the bank. I'm not going to get into that in today's video, but the silver and the gold, one of the primary purposes that people stack the precious metals for, it's to hedge inflation. It's to battle inflation. It's to store value for when inflation inevitably breaks down the purchasing power of the dollar bill. And if and when that happens, or when that happens, I should say, the silver and gold hopefully will take care of me. The way I see it is if you take care of your money and your body and your mind, your money, your body, and your mind will hopefully take care of you years, decades in the future. That's the way I've always seen it. And the silver and the gold, if and when something bad happens to the dollar bill, we know that it's going to get weaker over time. Some people are anticipating a full-on collapse of the dollar bill. I'm personally not really a big believer in that. I personally don't believe it's going to just fall flat on its face. I just personally don't see that happening. But if it were to happen, if something were to go wrong, if hyperinflation kicks in, if this happens, if that happens, the silver and the gold, it's there for me. Will it solve all of my problems? Will it make me invincible? Will it be the cure to whatever's going wrong? Absolutely not. But it can help a whole lot more than a depreciated piece of paper, fiat glorified, man-made IOU debt note. Used to be backed by gold. Now it's not backed by anything. One could actually argue it's backed by debt at this point. The point being is, if something were to go wrong and the silver and the gold ends up helping me out a bit, I wouldn't consider myself lucky. I wouldn't sit there and say, wow, I sure am lucky that I converted my dollar bills into silver and gold all of those years, rather than going and burning through my cash and being reckless and buying things that I don't need. I'm not going to say that the self-discipline was luck. I'm going to say I just was prepared. I knew that something could go wrong, so I took a proactive approach rather than a reactive approach. If something were to go wrong from a stacking or a prepping perspective, a proactive person would have already gotten started preparing for it. A reactive person is what we saw on the news, people getting into fistfights over toilet paper. That's reactive. That's a bunch of people who weren't prepared. That's a bunch of people who weren't ready for worst case scenario. Now, as I always say, there's no way in the world of ever being completely ready or completely prepared for every possible scenario. In fact, as I said in my recent video, I think yesterday or the day before, if you think you're prepared, you ain't prepared. If you think you're ready, you're probably not ready. The whole mission, the whole goal when it comes to prepping is to get yourself as ready, as prepared as possible so that if something were to go wrong, you can hopefully be able to combat it with your preps. The silver and the gold, financial prepping. The water purification unit that I got in 2019. I love that thing so much. I made so many videos about it. I told all of my family about it. I told all of my friends about it. In fact, a Berkey water filter is something that I'm going to be buying for somebody as a wedding gift this year. That's how much I like it, and I'm not even sponsored by them. And I'm not going to turn this into a Berkey water filter review or anything like that. I'll leave the link in the description in case anybody wants to read a little bit more about it. But point being is that I thought that it was probably the best purchase that I ever made in my life, and I told so many people about it back in 2019. Now I use it every single day, just simply to drink clean water. But if something were to go wrong, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have this mentality where they're just pretty much meandering through life saying,
no, nothing's gonna go wrong.
You know who else probably said that? People in Flint, Michigan, before things went wrong with their water supply, which, by the way, to my understanding, has still not been resolved. And it wasn't just Flint, Michigan, because people could say,
Oh yeah, it's just a freak accident, just happened one time, one place, one instant, no big deal, it's never gonna happen again.
Okay, well, what about what happened in Texas about 6 months ago? Lake Jackson, Texas, to be more specific, where there was a brain-eating amoeba in the water supply, and children died because of it. This isn't a foreign country I'm talking about. This is the country that I live in. It can happen here. It's already happened here. So why not take a proactive approach? Hence why I got the Berkey water filter. Link in the description if you want to read a little bit more about it. And I'll also link the other 3 staple prepping products that I use and like to talk about all the time. The second one would be the Nesco Food Dehydrator that makes fruits and vegetables and a whole bunch of other food last a whole lot longer, so you don't have to throw it away after about a week. The third one would be the Jackery Explorer 500, which is a portable power station that you can charge via solar. And then the fourth would, of course, have to be the Solo Stove Campfire, which is a portable fire pit cooking stove. Those are the 4 staple prepping products that I think people should get. And they don't have to be those particular products. They could be similar products from other brands or companies. Again, I'm not sponsored, so it doesn't really matter if you get them or not. But if you want to read anything about those products, or if you want to get them, I will leave all the links in the description. Taking a proactive approach and staying multiple steps ahead of the game so that if and when something were to take place, you'll be a whole lot better off than the average Joe who's not preparing for anything. They're not financially preparing. They're not physically preparing. They don't have food stocked up. They don't have a way of cleaning or filtering or purifying water. They don't have a backup energy source. They don't have anything. Nothing at all. Because nothing's ever going to happen. Everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows for the rest of our life. And what's at the end of the rainbow? A pot of gold. But the reason I wanted to talk about this today was because if something were to go wrong, and I use the silver and the gold or the preps to keep myself afloat and protect myself and my family and take care of what needs to be taken care of, I wouldn't consider myself to be lucky. Now, some people might be wondering, well, all this time that goes by where you invest so much time, you put so much cash into the silver and the gold and the preps. What if nothing ever goes wrong? What happens if you stacked all the precious metals and you purchased all this prepping equipment for nothing? At that point, I would call myself lucky. I'm not stacking the silver and the gold with my fingers crossed hoping for the dollar to collapse. I'm not prepping with all of this equipment because I'm hoping for some doomsday, horrible, terrible catastrophe to take place. I'm just trying to take a proactive approach so I'm not forced to take a reactive approach. That's how I see prepping. That's how I see stacking. And I want you guys to head on down in the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on my approach? What are your thoughts on my mentality? What are your thoughts on my way of going about stacking and prepping? Is it something that you participate in as well? And I'm not just referring to the silver and the gold and the preps, but I'm just talking about my way of thinking. Is that the way you see it? Do you see prepping as just a simple way of being proactive? Staying ready so you don't gotta get ready. Being multiple steps ahead of the game. That way, if something goes wrong, you have the tools and the resources to help you get through it. Will it solve all of your problems? No. Will it make you invincible? Absolutely not. But it can help you be a whole lot better off than essentially every other person out there. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic regarding staying proactive with the preps and whether or not you consider yourself lucky to have discovered the precious metals. And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I will be going live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out. I'm also doing giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shout-outs, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Or hit the subscribe button like a Karen hits another Karen. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,900, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations at no additional cost to you. It comes out of my pocket, not yours. And of course, please don't forget, today is the last day to get. The luck has nothing to do with it. T-shirt and hoodie. It's only available in the color green, and it's helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for St. Baldrick's Foundation, which is working to help children with cancer, which is obviously a beautiful thing. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. Don't forget to use promo code LUCKY for a 15% discount on everything in the DYDSS store until midnight tonight. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, when it comes to the silver and the gold, do you consider yourself to be lucky that you discovered precious metals? Do you consider yourself lucky that you have a little pot of gold, like what I have on screen? A couple little gold coins and gold bars inside of a blender bottle cap. Do you consider yourself lucky to be stacking, lucky to be preparing? And if something were to go wrong, something bad were to happen, and you have the silver and the gold or the preps to help take care of you, would you consider yourself lucky at that point? Or would you consider yourself to be prepared, disciplined, proactive rather than reactive? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.